since I was a little kid, I used to always study composition. It was Tchaikovsky that influenced me the most, I think. And of course, Debussy, who I love very much. But I love, like, if you take an album like Nutcracker Suite, every song is a killer. Every one. And I said to myself, why can't there be a pop album or an album with every... Because people used to do albums where you would get one good song and the rest were like B-sides, or they would call it album songs. And I would always say to myself, why can't every one be like a hit song? Why can't every song be so great that people would want to buy it, or you could release it as a single, you know, everyone could be a single. So I always tried to strive for that, and that was my purpose for the next album that I did. That was the whole idea. I wanted us to be able to just put anyone out that we wanted. Yeah, and I worked hard for it. But it broke my heart, but at the same time, it put it lit something that was just, oh my God. It said, I mean, I was like saying to myself, you know, I have to do something where it's refused to be ignored. I mean, and I came with the Thriller, and every time I was trying to always outdo myself, and Billie Jean, yeah, they said we won't play it. So Walter Yetnikoff, who was president of Sony at the time, he said, okay, we're pulling Streisand, we're pulling Broadway, we're pulling Chicago, and when they played it, it set the all-time record. And they were asking for everything we had. They said we're pulling Streisand, we're pulling Chicago, we're pulling Neil Diamond. That's what Walter Yetnikoff said. And after they played it, they were knocking our door down because it brought in. Then Prince came. It opened the door for Prince and all the other black artists who, because it was 24-hour heavy metal, which is a potpourri of crazy images. And they came to me so many times in the past, and they said, Michael, if it wasn't for you, there would be no MTV. They told me that over and over personally. I was at the studio editing Beat It. And for some kind of way, I happened to be at Motown studio doing that. Long left the company of Motown. Yeah, and I was there, and Susie Ikeda, who was a sweet, lovely Japanese lady who I adore. This is the lady who used to, when I was a little boy at Motown. She used to her job was to keep my head in the microphone. I had a little Apple box with my name on it, Michael Jackson. And this little Japanese lady's job was to keep my head in there because I like to dance when I sing. So she kept my head in the microphone. She happened to be at the studio, and she asked me when I was working. I said, I'm editing this thing I just did. It was Beat It. And she watched it, and she said, she was catatonic. She said, oh my God. Some kind of way she told Barry Gordy, I think something happened with that. So they were happening to do, getting ready to do something with the Motown anniversary. And Barry Gordy came over and he asked me, should I go on to do the show? And I told him no. I told him no. I said no because the Thriller, the Thriller thing I was building and creating something I was planning to do, and he said to me, what is the anniversary? I said, and this is what I said to him. I said, okay, I will do it. I said, but this is what I said, and he's very well. I said, I will do it if you, because I know it's all Motown artists and it's all Motown songs. I said, you have to let me do, I said, the only way I'll do it if you let me do one song that's not a Motown song. He said, what is it? I said, Billie Jean. He said, okay, fine. I said, you let me do Billie Jean? He said, yes. I said, okay, fine. So I remember I had like 2 or 3 days or something, and I rehearsed and choreographed and dressed my brothers. I choreographed them for the piece and picked the songs with the medley. Not only that, you have to work out all the camera angles and I direct and edit everything I do. Every shot you see is my shot. I'm not joking. Let me tell you why I have to do it that way. I have 6 cameras. 1, 2, 3. Because when you're performing, I don't care what kind of performance you give, if you don't capture it properly, the people will never see it. And usually it's the most selfish medium in the world. The most directing and camera work is so selfish because you're filming what you want people to see, when you want them to see it, how you want them to see it, what juxtaposition you want them to see it. And so you're creating the totality of the whole feeling of what's being presented in your angles and your shots. So I had to set the camera, set the angles, edit it. Suzanne DePazno, I go in and I edit every angle, and because I know what I want to see. I know when I want to go to the audience. I know when I want to come back. And because I know the emotion that I felt when I performed it. I'm trying to recapture that same emotion when I cut and edit and direct. That's the idea.